In Russia's war against Ukraine, the Russian army lost more than 600,000 soldiers and officers. For Russia, these are the most catastrophic losses since World War II. The Kremlin carefully hides any information about those killed and wounded. However, unlike other states, the Russian Federation is not able to accurately estimate the number of victims in the armed conflicts in which it participated. The numbers always vary, but even according to approximate estimates, Russia lost many more people in the war against Ukraine than in total in Chechnya, Georgia, Syria and Afghanistan.
Losses both during the Afghan war and during the Chechen wars, these were mainly losses of conscripts, and the losses of conscripts are perceived very painfully by society, because these are guys who by and large are practically forcibly sent to war, and who don't receive anything for it, unlike the so-called volunteers from the Kremlin authorities after all pay money.
No later than the summer of 2025, Russia will face a dilemma: either stop the war against Ukraine or declare a large-scale mobilization, said the head of the main intelligence directorate of the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, Kyrylo Budanov. When signing contracts with the Russian army, Russians are offered increasingly large sums, but this approach no longer works.
The amounts reached, depending on the region, up to 2 million Russian rubles. This is huge money for Russia. The answer is obvious: the flow of volunteers is catastrophically decreasing, and in recent months the Russian army has for the first time encountered a personnel shortage. Russia has a mobilization plan, and according to it, almost 10% of the shortfall was recorded. Kyrylo Budanov, head of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, from Forbes Ukraine publication.
Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, regional payments for signing a contract with the Ministry of Defense have increased approximately 80 times, and they continue to increase. For example, in the Krasnodar territory of the Russian Federation, the size of a one-time payment to men who entered into a contract with the Ministry of Defense increased to 1,600,000 rubles.
If we are talking about remote regions where the average wage is often 20,000 rubles, but here it's 2 million, that is, this is what a person can earn if he neither eats nor drinks for 100 months. Of course, this is a very large payment, but this the wave has already ended, the volunteers have already run out, which is why payments are increasing so much.
A shortage of recruits while maintaining and even increasing losses at the front could lead to Putin announcing a new mobilization before the end of 2024, and this decision could bury the regime, experts say.
It is difficult to say whether mobilization will be announced in the fall, because in reality mobilization will not give the effect that someone may be counting on. Well, in fact, the impact of the Kursk operation on the awareness of Russians certainly exists. It exists in such a latent form, but it became clear that Ukraine can win. Therefore, I think that there is no motivation for Russian citizens to go to this war.
The autumn conscription into the army is deadly for Russians, analysts say. Human rights activists advise studying the grounds for deferment or release from service. Also, one of the strategies is to consciously accept the risk of restrictions, fines and criminal liability for draft evasion. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Bil, UATV News.